Danny Segura here in Miami, Florida, standing next to Ray Borg, who competes this Friday at Eagle FC 44 against Cody Gibson. Ray, we haven't seen you in a bit. I know the whole pandemic has sort of slowed things down for everybody in the MMA world. First fight of 2022. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I've been super consistent, training really hard. I was scheduled to fight back in October, so it wasn't like a big jump, big gap. So I stayed busy, stayed consistent, and I feel great.
So this is your first fight under the Eagle FC banner, obviously their 44th event. So they've been a promotion that they've been around, but this is the first time they're making their U.S. debut. Overall, I mean, I know the fight has yet to happen, but how has it been like to work with the promotion and this venture that Habib set on?
We knew that when Habib was putting on a promotion that he was gonna do it big and he's gonna do it great. And so far, it's completely delivered. It's completely like professional. Like it couldn't get any high level than this, honestly. Like it's really great, really good put together show, and it's a pretty cool event.
Yeah, certainly. And look, this is prize fighting. We don't have to get into the details of it, but like usually outside of the UFC, it's tough for a lot of fighters. How is Eagle FC competing with among the purses that you've seen other promotions put out?
I mean, as far as my knowledge, I don't believe that there's any other promotions outside the UFC and outside the Bellator that are gonna compete with Eagle FC at all. From what I know, from what I've seen, and things like that, I don't think there's anybody who's gonna touch Eagle FC with that point.
Yeah. Nice. And talk to me about your opponent, Cody Gibson, also competed in the UFC. I'm sure you've studied him by now. What are your thoughts on him, and how do you feel about the matchup?
He's a good fighter. I mean, at the point of my career, I'm not gonna fight anybody who's a bum. You know, so he's a good fighter. He's coming off a good win, but there really are some levels to this game, man. There really are.
And it's crazy because you've been around this sport for so long, but you're just 28 years old, so you're still very young in this game. Can you tell us a little bit of where you're at in your career? Because probably last time we heard of you of here in the States big, you were debating or not whether or not to keep on fighting as soon as your UFC career came to an end. Where's Ray Borg right now in his MMA career?
Ray Borg right now mentally is in a very dangerous spot for any of my opponents. I'm focused. I'm driven. I haven't been this focused since I was a young kid. When I first got in the UFC and I was just a young, hungry lion. Now I'm that seasoned, polished lion. And I'm in a great spot right now. Being 28, I have a load of experience. I fought some of the best in the world. I fought the best in the entire game. So it goes a long way for me, and I think right now I'm in a fantastic spot in my career.
Those thoughts about retirement, I mean, are they gone? Do you see yourself sticking around the sport for a while?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when everybody asked me about when I was gonna retire. Like people constantly ask me about why or what that was about, and honestly, it was just like emotions. Like I was 20 years old when I got in the UFC. I spent my entire career in the UFC, and then when it came to a halt, I was like, I guess panicked on what was next, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop and live a blue collar life, move on. But and then I realized that this is what I do and this is what I do best, and it's beating the hell out of people.
Yeah, for sure. And how would you describe your tenure and your stint throughout the UFC? Because it is interesting. You came in so young, right? You achieved the highest of highs, which is fight for a world title in the company. You fought, obviously, Demetrius Johnson, one of the greatest of all time. But you also had some issues, right? You had issues with your weight cut. Also, you were plagued with some injuries, some weird situations, the whole Conor McGregor bust thing. Looking back, how would you describe your UFC stint?
The best way to describe it and the easiest way in one word is maturity. I wasn't mature on a lot of my UFC, stints. A lot of my UFC ups and downs. I was, still young, just kind of chasing a paycheck all the time and not remembering what I was there for and why I loved to be there. And, ultimately, it just as I matured and matured, it got better. And then, a couple stints, and then I think the maturity that I've done over the last year and a half that I've been away is just leaps and bounds different than what it used to be.
For sure. So yeah, it seems you've learned a lot from that time that you spent in the UFC. But any regrets looking back?
No, no. I want yeah, to an extent. There's some regrets. Certain fights that I wish I would have made it to. Like I wish I would have made it to the Brandon Moreno fight. I think me and my team both know how that fight would have went, and now he's champ and whatnot. But it is what it is, and I don't regret anything because it taught me more than what making it in those situations would have. and it taught me a lot, and it helped me outside of not just, it helped me outside of fighting the most. It helped me mature in my life more than just a fight game.
Yeah, for sure. And this fight, obviously, as I mentioned, you fought for the flyweight title in the UFC. Probably most people know you for your career at 125 pounds. This fight on Friday will be at 135 pounds. Is this where you're going to develop the rest of your career, 135?
I don't know. We'll see. The thing is I compete. I can compete both weight classes. Is the thing is, I had such bad weight cuts at 125, but that was, like I said, due to like immaturity, due to lack of will, which is something that's far in the past. But I could hold my own just fine, and I can do great with these 35ers, and I can do great with 25ers. So it's just kind of whatever's offered to me is more likely.
So the door is open for a 125 return.
The door is open, yes.
All right. Lastly, can you tell the fans what are they in store for on Friday night at Eagle FC 44?
They're in store for some great fights, some history to be made with the new promotion, and seeing me get my hand raised.
All right, Ray. I appreciate the time. Best of luck this Friday.